Moving on to the Washington football team here, they selected 19th overall in the draft, made the playoffs this past season, surprised quite a few people. And with their first pick of the draft, they took Kentucky linebacker Damion Davis. Damion Davis was one of those players, who, as we got closer to the draft, was really rising up draft boards and was actually selected earlier than Notre Dame linebacker Jeremiah Wasu-Koroa, which surprised a lot of people, including myself. Damion Davis here in the top 20 really surprised me. I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't think it's a great pick. I think it's a good pick. I'll give this pick a B. It was pretty solid for Washington because their biggest need in the draft was a linebacker, and Damion Davis, arguably the son was the best linebacker available. So they took a pretty nice guy here, and Davis was the 19th pick overall. With the Washington football team's second-round pick, they take Texas offense tackle Samuel Cosman. I think this was a phenomenal pickup. Cosman was arguably the best offense tackle available, and they could really use a tackle here. Whether their quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, whoever the quarterback is, they need protection. I think getting Samuel Cosman here with the 51st pick overall in the draft was a great pickup. It's a great value pick. He was arguably the best player available. Getting him here, I thought it was a fantastic pick here by Washington. I gave that grade an A there, taking Cosman at 51st overall. The Washington football team actually had 2 third-round picks, and with their first third-round pick, they took Minnesota cornerback Benjamin St. Juste with the 74th pick overall. I liked this pick quite a bit. I know they signed William Jackson from Cincinnati in the offseason to a major contract. I thought that was an extremely overpaid there in free agency. But corner is still kind of a big issue for the Washington football team. Taking Benjamin Juste here, the corner from Minnesota, is a pretty solid pickup. Arguably the best corner available, one of the better underrated players available here. I liked it quite a bit, and I ended up giving this grade a B. Like I mentioned, the Washington football team had 2 third-round pick selections, and with their second-round pick, they take North Carolina wide receiver Damani Brown. This is definitely my favorite pick for the Washington football team in their draft. I gave this pick an A+. Damani Brown here at the 84th pick overall is an absolute steal and just adds to that young wide receiver talent that they have in Washington. Damani Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel getting him in free agency from the Carolina Panthers. Whoever your quarterback is, it's going to be really easy to throw the ball to a great receiver because they have some great young talented receivers in Washington. This was a great value pick, in my opinion. Really look at the wide receivers taken in this draft. One of the best value picks here for any wide receiver in the draft. With their 4th-round pick selection, the Washington football team actually takes a tight end, and Boise State tight end Josh Bates actually had a low grade on that, so I actually ended up giving it a C-. Not understand this pick here at all. Josh Bates was not a top 5 tight end in my opinion here at the 124th pick. This was a extremely major reach here. Josh Bates was not even one of my top 30 players available here with the 124th pick overall. This was a massive reach for a position you don't even desperately need. There were some great late tight end prospects I liked in the draft quite a bit, like Matt Bushman and Quentin Morris from Bowling Green. I thought it would have been better off if they would have took one of those guys in the later rounds, but instead to take Bates here with the 124th pick. Not a fan of this pick at all, and I ended up giving it a C-. With their 5th-round pick, I do like it quite a bit here. They take Cincinnati safety Derek Forrest. I gave this pick an A. Forrest is probably the best safety here at the 163rd pick overall. I mean, they're just adding to that young, great defense they have there in Washington, adding some more great players to that secondary. I gave it an A. I was really a fan of this pick. This was a great value pick here for Washington in the 5th round. With the Washington football team's 6th-round pick selection with a 225th pick overall, they actually take a long snapper, a Michigan long snapper, Cameron Feedsman. This pick makes no sense at all. If you want a long snapper, you have 3 picks after here. You have a pick at 240, 246, and 258. You could have got a long snapper, and more than likely, Cheeseman, any 3 of those picks. This is a massive reach. This is definitely going to be one of the worst grades. I give that a pick here on my picks for each team. I give this pick a D. I went back and forth even giving this a D-. This is a reach. I just do not understand a huge importance of long snapper in the 6th round. At the 258th pick, just 1 pick away from Mr. Relevant. I would have no issue with it. But, we're towards the end of the 6th round. There's still about 30 picks to go. There's some great players available here. Did not like this pick at all here by the Washington football team. To finish it off, the Washington football team has 3 7th-round picks. I really hate the idea when teams have this many late-round picks. I think it is a much better option when they package a deal and give some of these picks away, because at the absolute most, 2 of these guys will end up making the team. There's no chance that 3 7th-round picks, especially for one team, will end up making the team. But with their first 7th-round pick selection, they take Baylor outside linebacker William Bradley King. This was a great pick here, great value pick. He should not really be here, in my opinion. You're getting more depth, more great young depth at the defense side of the ball. Gave this pick a B. This was a really great pick here by Rowan Vera and the Washington football team staff. I really like this pick here, but their second 7th-round pick, adding more presence known on the defensive line. They take Penn State edge rusher Shaka Toney with a 246 pick overall. I give this pick an A+. Getting Shaka Toney here is the absolute steal. In my opinion, probably one of the biggest steals in the entire draft. I mean, you have Montez Sweat, Deron Payne at defensive tackle, Chase Young, who was Rookie Defensive Player of the Year last season, and Shaka Toney, who should have been a 4th-round pick, but dropped to only because how great this edge class was. And with the 246 pick, that is absolutely insane. You cannot get much better value here getting Shaka Toney at 246. A+ pick here by Washington, and this just adds to the impressive and incredible depth they have here at the defensive line position in Washington. With the 258th pick in the draft and Washington football team's last selection in the draft, they take BYU wide receiver Max Milne. I gave this pick a B here. I thought it was a pretty solid pickup. Milne was definitely one of the best wide receivers available, one of the better players available, getting some more great wide receiver depth in Washington. Some young, great guys, weapons, whoever the quarterback may be. This is a great pickup here by Washington. And in the 7th round, like I mentioned, they had 3 7th-round picks, and they really made the best of it here with these 3 7th-round picks. Because, the first 7th-round pick I gave a B, the second one I gave an A+, and the third one here I gave a B. All great selections in the later rounds here by the Washington football team. And the Washington football team overall grade, I ended up giving them a B+. I thought it was a pretty solid draft here by Rowan Vera's second season as the head coach of the Washington football team.